79-63. Poor bounce to start it. Tall Sandilands couldn't get near it, and they get the clearance to Dockers. Dodd inside 50. Pavlich, the hot man of the afternoon. Ball comes out to Graham. Pavlich couldn't get near it then. Might get near it now. Gets on the end of the ball, handball, and he's slotted it. Pavlich has 6.
Wonderful skill, Matthew Pavlich. Hooking it back for a goal. Up goes Blake. Only as far as Dodd. High ball, still inside the centre square. Coming back was Harvey. It fell in front of him. Away to ball. Gets through. Not much pressure on him. To Hayes. Forward of the wing. Looks inside the forward 50. This will touch down ahead of Voss. We've got a whistle.
In the kick.
It's coming back to Hayes. Got a very good point too, Derm, about intensity. And Fremantle's style, when they were chipping it around, it does take the intensity out of players, doesn't it? It becomes too easy, too soft.
Tackling is such a great yardstick for just estimating or getting a handle on how intense you are at the opposition at the footy. And they dropped by more than half their tackles in that when they played that chip style.
There goes the kick from Revolt.
They'll get marked.
Yes, in front, Voss. Well, Voss and Milne, an unlikely pairing up forward, but Voss is a good aerialist who belies his size, that time a chest mark.
He's reading it now already, and Anthony Grover was watching him for that first couple of yards.
Quite often, too, Grover would have set himself all week for Fraser Gehrig. It can be a little disconcerting when you carry out what was the primary task.
Yep. And somebody else comes on. Yep.
That's
and
right.
Whole different game style to combat.
Your mind is in celebration mode from Fraser having left the scene. Here's Voss, and he comes, and I think he's missed. We're off the hook. But then again, we saw McFarlane late in that third term miss one at this end as well. Shammer wasting no time. Umpire still waving, and Johnson's got the football.
Michael Johnson, 11 games in his rookie season last year after no games in 2004. Been pretty good back there. So is Duffield. In his opening game, he's been good as well.
He's a good kid, isn't he? He tackles hard. He's had a real dig at them when the opposition have carried the ball.
He's a rookie list elevation, Paul Duffield. His second chance with the Dockers. They rookied him a couple of years ago. He was dropped, and they rookied him again, and now he's on the senior list playing some good footy. Sandilands.
There's room out on this wing. Sandilands would be thinking, I'd prefer to handball this.
And Duffield's got the job on Milne too, I think, in this final term. So a big job for the first gamer. Sandilands heads wide.
All right.
He waited, and Crowley presented for him. He runs away from Harvey. Chips the kick. Goddard. Little push on Gilmore was good. Goddard's got it. Takes his time all the way back to Xavier Clark. Wobbles it back in the direction of Voss, who dives and has played the mark.
You know what he's doing that they're struggling to combat now? He's the full forward who's running up to meet the ball carrier. Fraser was trying to stay in and push and shove and occasionally make a lead when he thought it suited at best.
Voss told to play on now. Seems Parker may have switched to him.
Now go.
Schwarz to Fisher. Forced to hold up. Back towards the middle and ball. And again, not many options. Montagna offers. You can see Ball's dilemma. Hanging onto the footy. Now he sets it up. A high ball to Milne. Well, you worry about that, but he's got the footy around the body. This will bend left to right. Too early and too sharply, and taken across the line by Sandilands, so behind. But how about that? After all of that, you go in the air to Milne. But it probably highlights another question, Durham. What does Grant Thomas do now? I mean, he would like to maintain his faith and relationship with Fraser. Does he bring him back out when the forward line is looking its most dangerous of the afternoon? Touch ball, Revolt, claim the mark, nothing doing. Blake comes wide, Goddard across to Graham. He's in trouble. Back to Revolt. A line of about 4 Saints directly behind the ball carrier. Thompson's got it now. 75 metres from goal. Up ahead to Harvey. Almost on the 50. Harvey tries to thread the needle. No good. Bounces very nicely for Matthew Carr. And he's gone with the up and under towards the wing, giving his teammates time. And characteristic almost of the mark he took at the SCG. Coming back to the flat of it, Revolt, but he dropped it that time. Baker was played the free. He comes out wide. Ball's got it. 75 metres from goal to Thompson.
Getting a bit of the footy now. Ball.
Milne leads. You were suggesting a long kick high in the air to Milne's not the option, Dennis.
Probably
Should he
not.
roll it inside 50 to Milne? Might be a better option. High bomb to the square. Johnson got a fist on it. Who's going to shark it? Parker rushes it through for a behind. Shammer wastes no time. There's still a chance here, the Saints. Kicking against a slight breeze. Johnson, back pocket. That seems to be the regular play. Crowley. He was paid the mark of the free, and it's against Blake.
He's been a valuable acquisition this season, Crowley.
He moves pretty well, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's got a bit of fire in him. A bit tougher than some of the other Dockers. This is Parker.
What are you trying to say, Dennis?
Yeah, Dennis.
Oh, well, it came out wrong. He goes short back towards the pocket. This is Black.
You mean the ball out of defence?
I'll take that.
Okay.
Ball off a step. This is Parker. This will be a good win by the Dockers, though, if they can win this afternoon. It seems they may.
No need buttering up now.
Absolutely. Goes up towards the wing. Pavlich needs anything but. Outstanding player, one of the superstars of the AFL. Has this ball midway between the lines, right half back and right centre wing. Leaders on from Dodd, well run, just peeled off at the right time. He's marked it on the wing. Again, overlapping Shammer. Takes it and he's off. Shammer, probing kick inside the forward 50, loose at the back. It runs away from Farmer coming across, and McFarlane, who led in the opposite direction, and bounces out of bounds.
Sandilands working his way inside 50 to take this ruck contest. He's got the reach. Can he palm it to advantage? Revolt's with him. He palms it to advantage. Well played to Carr. Spins it around his body, and it's a behind. It was all going to plan except for Josh Carr's kick. And he, another player who was fined $1,800 for wrestling Stephen Baker last year when these two teams met. Clark. Hayes caught. Got a handball out. Revolt's got a couple to beat.
Pushed off it.
Gilmore caught, dispossessed. Harvey. And you just don't feel that there's enough sting in St Kilda. Well, hang on. Maybe there is now.
Now this is...
There wasn't enough sting in them to make the comeback, but with Gary back out there, anything could happen.
I like this, and the reason being, as the ball goes over the boundary, Voss has done all right at full back. I'd put Gehrig right next to him, and it means one of two things: that Voss will keep with the matchup against Grover, which he's done well, or they'll have to reassign somebody to Voss and just tell Gehrig not to move from the square. He might clunk one.
Oh, great mark.
He's a star, this bloke.
That is a great mark. Pavlich from the boot of Black.
And this, from this angle, Robbo, what's that wind like down there? Has it swung around a little bit, because it does open up with this wind? It was earlier.
Yes, as we've said, you just got to hang it out there and it'll come around. It's still there, Derm. It's still pretty potent for Fremantle. It hasn't changed direction at all.
Far post, Mick. Just set it up.
Just hang it out there.
Yeah, Breeze will do the rest. Inhale and take it through the goals. Pavlich going at number 7. No, too shallow. This is to the near side, so Fraser's back out there at the opposite end of the ground. If it were WWE, he would come on to music. Now we've got another ball in the square. Well, that's simply not good enough. It's got to go, surely. That is an industrial hazard. Kick in from Goddard, straight down the middle. Fisher lost it. Opportunity for the Dockers. Bell to Carr. They played with great discipline, the Dockers, this afternoon. Short one. Cook will need to contest. Can't get there in time, and the mark is held, and well held by Clark.
Now look at this. This is symptomatic of St Kilda today. After he took that mark, they ran sideways at half pace to receive. No one ran hard through the line and decided they were going to take it on themselves for some gut-busting run.
Graham, Harvey and Hayes combined to get it to Fraser Gehrig. This could turn it all around. Yes! He rolls it through. Look out. The G-trains are coming.
Just on the bottom of his screen there to the right-hand side. He'll play true forward pocket very close to Fraser now.
Blake knocked it back of the pack. Harvey. Ball all the way back to Murray. Where's Fraser? Can't get near this one. Maguire's going to have to jump against 4. Does. Brings it down. Sandilands Stolen by Del Santo. He wobbles it towards Milne. Will it bounce for him? Milne's over it. He's got it. They've got him. Good tackle by Thornton. He wrapped up Milne. It comes out to Goddard. Now Del Santo loops it high, loops it long, loops a goal. They're alive. Shammer can go to himself and straight down the middle if he wants to. He goes to himself and wide instead. Duffield. They've been leaving him loose in the pocket, the Saints. They're kind of committed to the wrong side here, the Dockers. They need to get to that dead pocket again. Short pass is okay by Shammer. He's found Polak, half-back flank.
The intensity's out of the Dockers game like this.
Yeah.
And they could well easy snatch defeat from the jaws of victory here playing this.
Schwarz flies, can't bring the mark down. That would have been an important grab. Pavlich, the star of the show, to Crowley, and he goes to the boundary line, and Peter Bell was there. Will get a ball in, and it's back again to a 50-50 ball.
And St Kilda have, you can just sense that the players have the smell in their nostrils that they can get up here now. First time for the day, they truly believe it.
Revolt in front, but knocked it down to Carr, who's been pretty good around the packs. Hits it close to the boundary line. Slipping over down there was Maguire. Pavlich finishes up with a football. Done that a bit this afternoon. He's right on the 50. Oh, that's a beautiful kick. Sets it up for McFarlane.
What a leap.
What a kick, too. He went with the outside of the boot and had to pop it up, and that was centimetre perfect.
Oh, yeah. But two errors here from the Saints. Maguire fell over, and Zav Clark just had to stick that. He was close enough to get hands around. You look at the hips, you hang on, and you just be like one of those little remora sucker fish on his belly. You just hang on, and nothing flicks you off, Dennis.
McFarlane then has missed a couple of easy ones this afternoon, comes in and nails that one. That could be the knee buckler.
2 goals to Luke McFarlane, and the Dockers can see the finish line. They've been with their eye on it for about the last 6 minutes. It's a bit clearer now from the ball up. The clearance important. Big pack around it, and no clearance is a win for Fremantle. Will get a ball up. Peter Bell again. 24 possessions. And the bounce. Sandlands, the reach advantage. Knocked it down to Josh Carr. Kicks it wide. Pavlich is down there. McFarlane. And Maguire decides to take it out. And it's not deliberate. Pavlich appealed for it. He's had a great afternoon, Matthew Pavlich. 6 goals, and he set up the one that might win the contest for them.
Josh Carr having a pronounced influence on this game now. Del Santo, after Sandilands knocked it down. Hayes away to Clark. Clark around the boundary line on the outer side, and the mark is held in front by Fiora. 20 disposals for Josh Carr. 8 clearances. Rayon's the call, is it? No. Fiora taking plenty of time then. Takes on the man on the mark and gets by him a tad too easily. Fiora runs up towards the wing. But Walter back to Fiora. Tries to go very low and succeeds getting it to Voss. Voss is 60 metres from goal, but the defenders well in front of their forwards at the moment as the ball comes in, and Murray reaches over the top of Shammer and takes the mark.
There's not that much difference between the height of these two players, but Murray, I saw him play under 18 comp. Oh, gee, 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer ago now, and he took some wonderful overhead marks. He's very good at it.
And pops it through. So a flicker from the Saints.
4.5 minutes, 8 points. It's been done plenty of times before. They're against a slight breeze, a bounce. Blake jumped early. Sandilands knocked it down. Shammer. High bomb. McFarlane under it. Good man to have under a high ball. Can't mark it. Xavier Clark. Fisher caught by Headland. Good tackle. Schwarz. He sends it wide to Baker. He looks up and he's got the free man Murray, and he gets there. Takes the mark.
Has to be precise. The Dockers have loaded up in their back line.
Inboard to ball, about to get run down. Shrugs the tackle, chips the kick. If Voss can mark it, he can't. He got a little nudge. just outside 50. Gehrig's in the pocket. He waits, and he waited too long. Then Grover said, "I'll take it, thanks," and he kicks it long and wide to the wing. But the Saints have the numbers. The boundary line, the only Fremantle player there. And the boundary line, too slow. Revolt's got it.
There's a very early bounce. Hand passes forward to Graham. Graham running down towards right half forward. Fraser dropping back towards the square. Graham a little confused by all of that. Comes back towards Hayes. Tackled by Dodd. Got away from that. Feeds it back. Fiora. A natural left footer gets through. He could kick this. It wobbles down towards full forward. Not his best effort. Bounces through for a behind. 7 points the difference. Shammer to bring it back in.
Well, you know the Dockers under pressure. Last 3 times they've rushed some points. We could get down to an even goal.
Thornton goes back to Shammer to the opposite pocket and in space Grover. Some thrillers on this ground in recent seasons. Grover goes for distance. That's a pretty good kick too. Going back is Headland. Well played out there by Goddard. Knocked forward by Mundy. Still Headland. Goddard's got him. Looks for support. None on offer. Johnson applies a strong tackle. It lingered too long. St Kilda will get the free kick, but this is consuming valuable time.
Schwarz, half-back flank. 2 minutes 45. Hasn't got a lot of options. Just pokes it back to Montagna, who can run. The Dockers have flooded back, so Montagna can virtually take it free all the way to the midfield. Bounces a couple more times, continues to run it. Lenny Hayes sends it inside 50. Gehrig's there. He can't get a run at it, Fraser Gehrig. And the mark's been taken by Josh Carr. Put his body on the line. Could have been hurt big time, and it was a good grab. Sends it wide. Peterbell can mark it and hold it. And he does.
Josh Carr has been terrific in this final term. Peterbell, and it may be the Dockers are home. 7 points the difference. Under 2 minutes to go. Bell for distance, good policy, and the target is very wise as well. Pavlich appear to be held without it. No free kick. Revolt picks it up, goes to Blake, back to Revolt. Man on in the middle. He goes to Ball. Now he can run it. The one final assault perhaps for the Saints. Ball a little indecisive. Running up through the middle. A second bounce. Nobody to give the football to. In and out of a tackle. Goes back to Graham. Back to Goddard. Goddard is short. Goes across to Clark. We're down to 120 now. St Kilda. Not to know it. The coach does, though.
He can kick it this
A
point.
look of resignation there on Grant Thomas. The kick from Schwarz goes down towards the pocket, and the smallest man on the ground has taken the mark, Peter Bell. And that should just about do it to Carr. Gilmore is running hard. Good running by Gilmore. Finishes up with the ball. He could go to Headland and or Duffield. He's got one of two. Decides he wants neither. Now goes in short. That wasn't a good kick. Picked off by Hayes. Hayes still going. One bounce inside the 50. Montagna needs to be straight. It is. 40 seconds to go.
Beauty. Let's have a look at the way they go to set up in this centre bounce now. Good balk here. I thought Lenny might have kicked right about then, but he took the bounce. And that wrong-footed him for a straight shot, but good pressure kick taken on the fly by Montagna. What an important centre bounce. Ball, Del Santo and Hayes. They're A-grade underneath the bounce team.
That's the Fremantle forward line. There's no one there. They're all back.
Well, if you were coaching, you'd have Pavlich on the ball, wouldn't you?
Is he on the ball? Dennis?
Oh,
I think
Thank you.
running
Ball
to the
up in the
back,
middle,
is he?
35 seconds. The Saints have not led today. Picked up out of the middle by Ball. Rolls it to Graham. 28 seconds and counting. A behind will at least get them some points. Blake has been good today. They need a mark. Montagna can't get a hand on it. Duffield. Josh Carr tackled by Hayes. Dispossessed. Goddard loops it to Montagna. 10 seconds remaining. We might get a ball up, and the clock should stop as soon as the whistle blows.
What a great
it
innovation.
comes down to this clearance.
Oh, Dennis, it's yours.
I'm claiming it there. So a bounce 40 metres out. They've got to win clear possession here, the Saints. Fremantle need to block them into space. Opportunity for Freo. They left it behind. That was Headland, and the ball is locked in again. And I think the clock will stop again. Saints wanting a free kick.
Just about all that can happen now is a free kick out of this. That's about the only thing.
Well, how many seconds to go?
What are they appealing for, the Dockers?
The light. Johnson knocked it down. Blake over his shoulder. Fiora across to Baker. Baker lines up and kicks. A point. There's going to be a free. No.
The siren's already sounded.
They were saying they heard the siren.
The siren's already sounded, but they did not hear it. The umpires have to...
Well, it couldn't have gone because the clock was supposed to have been stopped.
Well, the umpires have to work out now whether one of them heard it on time.
One of them did. He's come up now and he's approached them.
But didn't it go after the whistle for a ball up?
Yeah, with the ball up.
No, well, they were saying it happened
just before the ball up had happened. And because none of the field umpires heard it, they can't actually say that time was over.
Oh, the Who have got nothing on this.
Oh, now this is...
It's a wild climax
So
to
we've
what's
got
been a bizarre afternoon.
So, in effect, we have a tie. That last score stands.
Oh, wouldn't you be seeding if you're Chris Connolly?
He's going out there, Chris Connolly. He's heading out there to try and work out what's going on. Because, in essence, it's just not right, is it?
No, the siren just... Actually,
well, it depends.
I'm not going to say it. I've told you so, but a couple of times though when you hear the siren, I thought, gee, that's not loud.
It was hard to hear.
And in the climactic again...
Now, what are they? They're giving St Kilda a free kick.
Well,
was that Baker after he kicked the ball? This is an interesting discussion. Wouldn't it be nice to be a fly on the wall?
Or is it the
Lenny Hayes is having a go at Connolly saying, get out of here. Lenny Hayes and Connolly are in dispute.
Well, this is appalling.
Well, this is bizarre.
The siren was so hard to hear all day long. But it depends. The players appeared to hear it after the umpire had blown the whistle to ball it up, so it can't go then.
Robbo's up to Chris Connolly.
Now Baker is getting another kick. Baker is getting another kick. Well, that last score can't stand surely if he's got the ball again.
And was the umpire abused by the players for not calling time?
No, unless he got dumped after he kicked it.
Where's Mickey? Mickey's out in the ground. Everybody else is too. Michael, what news?
Well, I tell you what, absolutely mass confusion, as you can see. I saw the clock go down off the TV screen, right? So I'm waiting for the siren. Now, as you said, the siren has been faint all day, so I'm standing on the boundary line. Mass confusion with what is going on at centre-half forward. So Chris Connolly doesn't know, the St Kilda players don't know, and neither the Fremantle players.
Did you hear a siren? Did you hear a siren, Mick?
To be perfectly honest, I didn't hear the siren, but I saw the clock go off the screen when it's supposed to have gone off.
Well, the Dockers put their hands up and were appealing that they heard it.
Well, how did he get the point then? In comes Baker, and Baker has kicked another point. Does the previous point stand? We have no idea.
We're going to have to wait on the goal umpires to go to the centre of the ground. They will confer, and really, we don't know who's won the game or drawn the game.
Or was the previous point not counted, was it? Was that
Well, he waved the flags, didn't he? He waved the flags. They may have cancelled it. I didn't see him cancel it.
Well, we'll wait on the goal umpires. They're the most important men on the ground at the moment because they will confer scores and then they wave the flags to give the all clear. We've got to cancel from... That's the
yes,
cancel.
they cancelled it. Okay.
But Baker must have been pushed and dumped. So at the moment on the board we have 13-16-94 St Kilda, Fremantle 14-10-94. Scores are level on the board. So the goal umpires now conferring in the centre. And they... Let's go down to Robbo. He's got some clarity with it, with the umpires.
Just went and spoke to the umpires. I've got Chris Connolly walking towards me now. Now, Chris, hang on 1 second. Just spoke to the umpires. They did not hear the siren. And that free kick was given to Baker after a poor disposal back to Baker. Now, your feelings on today, mate?
Well, the siren had gone. And Byron Shammer told the umpire the siren's gone. The umpire on the bench thought Hayden Kennedy had heard the siren. All the players had heard it. It was before the bounce of the ball. And... the game was finished.
Now, what do you think of the umpires saying they didn't hear the siren now, mate?
Well, look, that's the facts of what happened. And, of course, when our players heard the siren go, the game's over. The next thing, it's balled up. So, look, the AFL will have a good look at it, but the right thing's got to be done.